Alright, let's dive into this. We're talking about one of the spiciest hypothetical trades floating around the NFL right now. A wide receiver swap that would send Brandon Aayak to the Washington Commanders and bring Terry McLaurin over to the San Francisco 49ers. It sounds wild on paper, but when you peel back the layers, this move might actually make a whole lot of sense for both sides. So buckle up because we're going to unpack every angle of this. First things first, we've got two-star receivers, both disgruntled in their current situations, both extremely talented, and both at interesting crossroads in their careers. On one side, Brandon Aayak has reportedly been frustrated with the 49ers since their Super Bowl loss. Ever since that game, his body language, his social media activity, even his family's comments have suggested that he's not happy in San Francisco, despite just signing a big extension that ties him among the highest paid wideouts in the league. The vibe is off. Meanwhile, over in Washington, Terry McLaurin, better known as Scary Terry, is quietly growing impatient. He's still on a deal he signed back in 2022, and in today's wide receiver market, that deal is already outdated. He was once a top 10 paid receiver, but now he's looking up at names like Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, all making more money and all signed more recently. So why does this swap even make sense? For starters, both of these guys are elite, no debate there. McLaurin is entering his age 30 season, but he's shown no signs of slowing down. Despite playing with a carousel of quarterbacks, we're talking Carson Wentz, Sam Howell, Taylor Heinicke. He's consistently produced over 1,000 yards almost every year. His only sub-1,000-yard season was his rookie year, and even then he came just short. He's durable, he's dependable, and he's got top-tier route running skills. Add in his leadership and character, and you've got the full package, Brandon. Aayak, on the other hand, is a little younger and arguably has a higher ceiling when it comes to explosiveness and after-the-catch ability. He's coming off a knee injury that had him sidelined, but before that he was cooking defenders on a weekly basis. He's dynamic, he's got that swag, and he's just entering his prime. But the thing is, and this is where it gets interesting, he doesn't seem to feel valued by the 49ers organization. Whether it's contract talks, target share, or just a desire for a fresh start, Aayak has been making noise. And that's where Washington steps in. Let's not forget, Aayak and Jayden Daniels go way back. They played together at Arizona State. They've remained close friends, and there's been mutual public admiration. Aayak helped mentor Daniels during his draft process, and Daniels has talked about how much that relationship means to him. When Aayak was frustrated with the Niners, one of the first people he vented to was Daniels. That's not nothing. In fact, Daniels was even at Aayak's wedding recently. Meanwhile, Aayak's own quarterback, Brock Purdy, was nowhere to be found. That says a lot about where his heart might be leaning. Now on the Commanders side of things, new general manager Adam Peters is no stranger to the 49ers system. He was there alongside John Lynch when they drafted Aayak, and he's familiar with what kind of player and person he is. So you've got the connections, you've got the relationships, and you've got a very real need for a young, explosive receiver to pair with your new franchise quarterback. Add that all up, and Washington might be thinking, hey, let's bring in someone who wants to be here and build that chemistry with Daniels from the ground up. From the 49ers' perspective, McLaurin might actually be a better fit right now. Yes, he's older, but he's also more proven against adversity. He's played with chaos at quarterback his whole career and still put up numbers. He's tough, physical, a precise route runner, as he knows how to move the chains. You can line him up anywhere, and he's going to produce. The big question is, how much does he want in his next deal? Because the 49ers, who are already tight, against the cap would likely want to sign him to a deal that's slightly cheaper than what Aayak's getting. Something in the 27 to 28 million per year range, which might be doable given McLaurin's current contract status and the fact that he's looking for long-term security over a huge annual payday. And when you zoom out, both of these teams are at interesting points in their builds. The Commanders have their quarterback of the future in Jayden Daniels. They've got a restructured front office with Peters calling the shots, and they're looking to build a new identity. Adding a guy like Aayak, who has chemistry with Daniels and fits the timeline, could be a huge piece of that puzzle. On the other hand, the 49ers are in win-now mode. They've already got a Super Bowl caliber roster. They got a QB on a rookie deal, and they need reliable weapons that can perform in high leverage situations. McLaurin, with his track record, might be the safer bet. But let's not pretend this would be a clean swap. There are real hurdles here. First off, the financials. The Niners would have to take on McLaurin's current deal and probably extend him while eating some dead money from Ayak's extension. That's not ideal. Washington would be committing big money to Aayak, and they'd have to be absolutely sure he's their guy. There's also the injury factor. Ayak's coming off a significant knee injury, and while early reports are optimistic, there's always risk involved. And then there's the Deebo Samuel situation. He's still on the roster. He had a down year last season, and if the Niners are retooling their receiver room, they have to ask, is Deebo still your WR2, or is he next out the door? What makes this all the more fascinating is the timing. The wide receiver market has completely exploded in the last 2 off seasons. We're talking Justin Jefferson at $35 million per year, Jamar Chase at $40 million, CeeDee Lamb and Amon-Ra St. Brown in the mid-30s. The numbers are staggering. And for players like McLaurin, who signed their deals just 2 years ago, they're suddenly way behind the curve. It's no longer about just being a top performer. Now it's about where you fall on that list of highest paid guys. And pride plays a big role. If McLaurin wants to be paid like a top 5 receiver, Washington might balk, especially given his age. But if San Francisco believes he can give them 3 or 4 more elite years at a slightly cheaper number than Aayak, that could be a win. And let's not forget about team culture. Kyle Shanahan runs a tight ship. He wants guys who buy in, play with intensity, block downfield, and don't cause distractions. McLaurin fits that mold. He's been a captain in Washington. He's stayed out of drama, and he shows up every Sunday ready to work. That's not to say Aayak doesn't work hard. He does. But his situation with the Niners has been messy. Public complaints, cryptic, social media posts, family members popping off online. It's been a distraction. And when you're trying to win a championship, that stuff adds up. One more thing to consider: value. If you're San Francisco and you can flip Aayak, who's already expressed discontent, for a veteran like McLaurin, who might come cheaper and with less drama, that might be an ideal reset. Meanwhile, Washington can bring in a younger, flashier weapon for their young quarterback, someone who wants to be part of the rebuild and already has chemistry with your franchise guy. It's one of those rare NFL trade ideas that the more you think about it, the more it actually makes sense for both sides. So what would it take to actually make it happen? Probably more than just a straight 1-for-1. Maybe San Francisco has to throw in a late round pick or eat a portion of Ayak's guaranteed money. Maybe Washington sweetens the pot to balance the cap implications. But the idea is out there, and the more these contract disputes linger, the more both front offices might start thinking, why not? We're going to keep digging into this idea, because there are still layers to explore, like how this impacts each team's offensive scheme, how locker room dynamics might shift, and what ripple effects this could have across the league. But make no mistake, this isn't just some internet fantasy. There are real reasons to believe that a Brandon Aayak-Terry McLaurin trade could go from speculation to reality. Now, let's take this conversation even deeper, because beyond just the surface level logistics of swapping Brandon, Aayak, and Terry, McLaurin, there are some massive implications for both franchises when it comes to locker room dynamics, scheme fit, and long-term planning. Starting with the San Francisco 49ers, this is a team that's been knocking on the door of a championship for several years now. They've been to multiple NFC championship games, came painfully close in a couple of Super Bowls, and the core is still intact. From Brock Purdy on his rookie deal to George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, and Trent Williams anchoring both ends of the field. But if there's one area where things have gotten a little murky, it's the wide receiver room. Brandon Aayak is incredibly talented, no doubt. He can stretch the field, he can separate off the line, and he makes big plays in crucial moments. But the chemistry between him and the team, whether that's Kyle Shanahan, the front office, or even Brock Purdy, hasn't always looked smooth. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button. On this video, your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are stirring in the NFL world after a recent heated statement reportedly made by Kyle Shanahan, the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers. According to sources close to the team, Shanahan has expressed extreme frustration with wide receiver Deebo Samuel, allegedly saying, "I won't play with him anymore." This explosive remark has ignited a wave of speculation and rumors among fans and analysts alike, questioning the future of Samuel in San Francisco. Deebo Samuel has long been a dynamic and versatile player for the 49ers, known for his ability to impact the game both as a receiver and a running threat. His unique skill set has made him a crucial component of Shanahan's offensive schemes over the past seasons. However, the alleged statement from Shanahan hints at a serious rift that could disrupt the harmony of the team's offense. While the exact reasons behind Shanahan's purported declaration remain unclear, insiders suggest that it could stem from differences in attitude, commitment, or disagreements on and off the field. The timing of this rumored fallout is particularly sensitive as the 49ers continue to build momentum toward a potential championship run. If true, such a public condemnation of a key player could have profound implications, not only for the locker room atmosphere, but also for the franchise's strategic plans moving forward. Deebo Samuel's contract situation and his value in the trade market would immediately become hot topics if Shanahan's stance signals a willingness to part ways. Fans and experts are now left to wonder, is this just a temporary clash that can be resolved behind closed doors, or does this signal a permanent fracture between Shanahan and Samuel? Would the 49ers consider trading Samuel, or might the star receiver request a move himself if the tension persists? Such scenarios could dramatically alter the trajectory of both the team and Samuel's career. This developing story is fueling heated debates on sports shows and social media platforms, where supporters of both Shanahan and Samuel weigh in passionately. Some argue that the coach's authority must be upheld to maintain discipline and order, while others defend Samuel's immense talent and question whether the coach might be overreacting. As of now, the 49ers organization has remained tight-lipped, neither confirming nor denying the claims. Meanwhile, football enthusiasts worldwide are eager for any update that might shed light on this potential internal crisis. Could this be the beginning of a major shakeup in San Francisco, or just a momentary bump in the road? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the rumor mill is in full swing, and the 49ers camp is buzzing with uncertainty. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.